more grateful that you are here to share it with us. My name is Emily Morales, and I am with Artist Inc., and alongside me is my compañero Dante Carballo. He's going to translate for me because he's better at Spanish than I am.
Hola, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Dante, ella es Emily. Estamos con Artist Inc. presentando nuestro proyecto del movimiento de Salinas el día de hoy. Esta es nuestra última presentación de la temporada.
So this has been a very beautiful and long journey creating this piece. We started writing this production back in 2016, right after the election. We know what happened after that. But as a result of that, I think a lot of us had a lot of feelings, and we didn't exactly know what to do with them. And we realized as artists, it is part of our obligation to create work that is reflective of our communities, but also that helps us take these feelings and take these emotions that we're feeling and target them towards something positive. Instead of just being angry and being disappointed, we need to do something about it as a community, and how do we approach that? So this was our goal and our mission in creating this piece. So it's been through 2 versions already. The first was a community preview, which we got feedback from you, the community. And then the second was a revision based on that feedback, and was a stage reading. And now what you're going to see today is the final product based on all the community feedback and revisions that we've done.
Este proyecto fue impulsado por las elecciones del 2016 y fue un producto de que quisimos enseñarle a las más jóvenes generaciones cómo pueden tomar algo negativo y convertirlo en algo positivo, e intentar enseñarles de cómo seguir adelante. Esta es la tercera revisión del proyecto que estamos haciendo y la hemos estado intentando mejorar cada vez con las opiniones y los comentarios que nos da la audiencia después de cada vez que la presentamos. Lo más seguro es que hoy, al final de la producción, les vamos a pedir sus opiniones, preguntas, lo que ustedes quieran decirnos.
So like he's saying, we're going to have, inside of your programs, you already have surveys that are for the end of the production, if you want to just give us your final thoughts and feelings. And you don't want to say it out loud to us, but we also want to open up the floor afterwards for you to meet our cast, and also to ask them some questions or any comments or ideas that come up your mind while seeing this production. We want to hear it because part of our mission with this project is 1 volume out of hopefully many that we will be doing, and our goal is that we can continue to develop works like this that help address the issues that face not just our community locally, but even on a national level, because a lot of these issues are reoccurring in similar communities to Salinas. So yeah, your input and your feedback is deeply needed and honored.
Como les decía, dentro de su programa tienen un lugar donde pueden darnos su opinión. Si no quieren participar con su voz, pueden hacerlo escrito, si les da pena o algo así. Nuestro plan es que sea una parte de muchas, de cómo podemos seguir inspirando a la gente y seguir adelante con estos proyectos.
Last and final, I guess, statement is we have something that is unique to this production is that typically people don't let you use your phones either in the movies or in a show, but this one time and one time only we will allow you to use your phones, but only during a specific moment. We have an actor that will come out on stage either on this side or this side, and they will give you a number, and there will be a projection on the screen that will have a phone number for you and some choices. Based on those choices, whatever you vote will be what happens in live time on stage. So choose wisely. But that'll happen twice. Other than those 2 times, please, we ask you not to use your phones, otherwise it's super distracting for our actors, and they'll be sad because you're not listening, and that's just sad feeling. So let's keep them pumped up, yes?
Normalmente cuando una película o una obra de teatro está prohibido que utilicen los celulares, pero en esta obra tenemos 2 excepciones en las que les vamos a pedir su voto a través de un mensaje de texto. Va a salir un actor de aquel lado y les va a pedir que voten marcando el número, a cierto número telefónico con el número 1, 2 o el 3, o en este lado del escenario o en otra diferente ocasión, pidiéndoles que voten de la misma manera. Aparte de esas 2 situaciones, les pedimos que por favor no utilicen los celulares, ya que pueden distraer a los actores y no queremos que eso pase.
All right, I think that's it. Are you guys ready to see a show?
Yes!
Are we ready to see a show? Yes!
stories of struggles and strength. A strength that remains, no matter how much power they take, no matter how much money they make, no matter how many of us are left in chains, the strength of our people remains. Because we are awake, and we see the strength in love and compassion, in community and collaboration, in culture passed down to each generation. We raise warriors to walk more comfortably in our shoes than we could, to navigate the past, to create the past we never could. And us youth stand at a crossroads, uncertain of the beaten path, still moist from our mother's tears, poised with pens, paint cans, and pistols, ready for evolution. Entendemos las semillas, somos las semillas del futuro, made from the wisdom and love of our ancestors, ready to pave the way for our children and our children's children. The actions we take today pave the way for 7 generations to come. So this is no time for silence. This is no time for fear. It is time for us to rise, to heal, find our voice, find our power, and organize, to become the people we want to see in the world, to create the community we want to be a part of. Today is our day. Today is our time. Today we rise like our great-grandchildren's lives depend on it. Do not let politician, police, or capitalist greed impede on your ability to think and act clearly. They will try to keep you weak. They will try to divide and conquer us. They will try to sell us hope in the system, and they will fail. Because we are awake, and we know this moment is for our future and for our past. We represent those who've walked before us and those who yet to come. We are one, in Lakesh, we are one.
Relax, Social Justice Warrior.
Are you for real?
That was lit though. You're gonna kill it.
Thanks, bro. Shut up, fool. You don't even have good taste. Look at those kids. What are those?
Shut up. How old is that? Where you been?
Yo, those are pretty ugly though.
They were get from me, Tia. Come on. Oh, damn. Holy shit.
What's going on? What the hell are you looking at?
Dude, I just saw footage of that shooting. Wait, hold up. I didn't even see it. Rewind it.
Dang, I remember that. That was 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's the guy that shot by mi pueblo.
Which one?
Yeah, the cops just assassinated him.
What? How? I don't know about that. About what?
What do you not know?
Yeah, dude, he was already on the ground. They didn't need to...
Yeah, but it's not always that simple. They're trained to run a certain way and, guys.
A certain way if you're black or Mexican.
He had a knife.
But that doesn't justify murder. They had guns.
Bet that wouldn't happen if you were white though.
But it's not out of our age. Yo! I'm sorry to interrupt, but I haven't seen the footage. I'd love to know what the bell's about. Sorry, man. Here, check it out.
¡Ven acá! ¡Ma, ven acá! ¡Ma!
Dude, that's not the guy they shot by mi pueblo. That's the guy they shot like a week later. But they did straight up murder him too, though. Hold on. It says right here on the search engine that it's Osman Hernandez.
Wait, what? Let me see your phone.
Yeah, the guy we just saw, his name's Carlos something.
Mejia, Carlos Mejia.
Yeah, that's right. That's where the protest happened, remember?
Oh yeah, then why does Carlos and shouldn't come up as his mans?
Because to them we're all the same. Don't you see? It just proves my point. Here, take a look for yourselves.
Hernandez. Those who knew him say he was a farm worker and was waving a field knife. This is surveillance video of Hernandez. That's him behind the flag just after he left a nearby bar. Police shot him after first deploying the taser guns.
After they give you the first electrical, they went, I think that he went in the floor, the line that was on one side, and then the police shot him after he was on the floor.
He got shot for doing the machete dance? That's messed up.
Dance? He was waving a knife in the air. He was a danger to himself and others.
Nah, I did that dance when I was a kid. Watch, Google it.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Look.
Yeah, this one.
To top it off, the news is just straight up lying. They didn't shoot him 4 times, they shot him 7 times. Look.
No, no iba a llegar como 20 cabrones, mira.
I'm sorry, guys, but you think the police assassinated him? Based on what?
Based on the footage and the eyewitnesses' accounts.
Yeah, but this footage doesn't show shit. At least not for Osman. And as far as the other is concerned, what's his name?
Carlos Mejia.
Yeah, him. As far as he's concerned, he was straight up in someone's house being all, you know when you're...
What, being a perv, dude?
No, like, you know when all your stuff's hanging out for the world to see?
Like the guy from Bienvenidos?
Yeah, that show is crazy. I remember my parents used to watch that show.
But seriously though, that guy was a danger to society. What do you expect?
What do you expect? Are you serious right now? What about Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Fernando Castillo, Sandra Bland? They're targeting us!
Man, that's crazy.
Freaking cops who's killing our people!
Come on, man. First of all those people you mentioned are black, not Mexican. None of that happened in Salinas.
It doesn't make it any better though. We're all the same to them. Why can't you get that? The only difference is victims like Pedro Villanueva and Jesse Hernandez don't get as much news coverage.
Look, the cops are trained. They'll just kill for no reason. The people who get shot, they put themselves in that situation by breaking the law. The police aren't responsible for that. They have to make split-second decisions. Plus, they're not all bad. My uncle's a corrections officer. As far as I know, he's a good guy.
Yeah, but not every cop is your uncle.
Well, what would you do?
Well...
Let's say you're one of the cops in front of the guy with the garden shears. How do you arrest him without firing a shot, huh?
Well, for starters, I try to de-escalate the situation.
Now comes the time in our program where we ask you to determine the next course of action. How do you think the officer should de-escalate the situation? Your options are 1, use pepper spray, 2, use taser, and 3, use a baton. Please text either 1232 831 272 2715. 831-272-2715. Ahora viene el tiempo en ese programa donde usted determina el siguiente curso de acción. ¿Cómo crees que debería de reaccionar el oficial? Sus opciones son 1. Usar aerosol de pimienta, 2. A pistola eléctrica y 3. A macana. Por favor, textea 1, 2 o 3 a 831-272-2715. 831-272-2715. And the results are pepper spray. Los resultados son aerosol de pimienta.
Well, okay, Mr. Expert. How exactly would you de-escalate the situation, huh?
I could use pepper spray like this.
Requesting backup leader parcel 459. Suspect is not complying his way for the purity garden shears.
Freeze! Drop the weapon! I said don't move!
If you do not comply, we will use force. Get your pepper spray ready.
Last chance, buddy. Drop your weapon now. And you see, no one got shot.
Bro, that's not realistic. You'd have to be way closer to do that. That puts the cop in danger.
Actually, the typical range for pepper spray is about within 30 feet. And based on the footage, the cops are well within 30 feet when they shot at him.
All right. There's still a taser.
Okay, check it out.
Requesting backup leader parcel 459. Suspect is not compliant and his way would appear to be garden shears.
Freeze! Drop the weapon! I said don't move!
If you do not comply, we will use force. Get your taser ready.
Last chance, buddy. Drop your weapon now. And boom, no one died.
All right. But what if the guy's on bath salts or something? They said both cops shot him, one missed him and the other one wasn't dead. So what then, bro?
Okay. There's still a baton.
How about you try it? Let's check it out.
Freeze! Drop the weapon!
If you do not comply, we will use force. Get your baton ready.
Last chance, buddy. Drop your weapon now!
Drop him!
Whoa!
The hell you doing, man?
I'm sorry, it's just you weren't listening.
Well, you can't just do that. You could have killed him like that.
Well, how the hell was I supposed to know? Y'all just threw me in there.
That's the point. You're supposed to know. Look, any way you slice it, this job is hard. But is it really that hard to understand why they're held at such a high standard? They have so much power. They could protect you, they could arrest you, they could save or kill you. Preservation of life is supposed to be their prime directive, Yet instances like this happen all the time.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with insufficient training, and they know it too. It's on their website. I'm on the Department of Justice's website right now, and here's a report on what they found on the Salinas Police Department. 1. Officers do not receive regular training on how to effectively respond to individuals with mental health issues. 2. Officers do not receive adequate training on force de-escalation, especially in regards to individuals with mental health issues. 3. There are notable deficiencies within the department's internal complaint and investigation process that brings into question the department's ability to hold officers accountable. 4. Police and community relations are significantly frayed, and the police department does not appear to fully appreciate this disconnect. 5. There exist notable deficiencies within the department's internal communications that results in confusion within the ranks and contributes to low morale. And what do they do about it? Nothing.
Making change takes time.
But in the meantime, we're still targets and they're still shooting us. These laws weren't written for us, they were written against us. That's why you gotta resist any way you can. Why do you think I tag? 'Cause, man, I get so heated sometimes, dog. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have my art. It's the only time I feel at peace.
Poetry is like that for me. It's how I process all the crap I gotta deal with.
Yeah, apparently trying to listen to music is pretty much the same for me too. It's the only way I can really relax and get my mind stopped racing.
For real though, on a lighter note, did I show you guys my new piece yet? Check it out. Hey, that's dope!
Dang, you went in!
Thanks, man. I got a bunch of them. Here, take a look.
Hey, can I borrow this? I want to show my friend. She's an artist too. I'll give it back to you tomorrow.
Dang, look at Quali trying to holla at them, honey. It's cool, just don't lose it. I don't need no administration flipping through my book, know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll get it back to you tomorrow. Thanks.
I hate to break this up, but it's almost 4 and I gotta dip.
Yeah, I gotta go too. I told my grandpa to help him with the truck.
Yeah, dude, I gotta bail. See you later.
All 3 of them. Number 1, you have the right to not be killed.
Suspicious person with a knife. This bank broken. What's his name?
House evacuated. Multiple days of toilet. He's still on with the knife.
It didn't make it.
Murder is a crime unless it was done by a policeman or aristocrat. Oh, know your rights. And number 2, you have the right to food money.
Hold on, I'm here to pick up my welfare. It needs to stop yes. Then mommy, come on, let's go. We've been here 2 hours.
Here you go, ma'am.
Providing, of course, you don't mind a little humiliation investigation.
Excuse me, ma'am, but your case number has been open for review. We'd like to ask you a few questions regarding your income. It's come to our attention that you haven't been reporting your full gross annual income.
Pero no tengo dinero.
And if you cross your fingers, rehabilitation.
You don't have any money. Well, then you're going to jail for fraud!
Wait, no, let's go. Man.
Know your rights. These are the rights. Know these rights. Number 3, you have the right to free speech.
Education, no deportation! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
Stop! What are you doing? What are you doing?
I got you on camera!
As long as you're not dumb enough to actually try it. Know your rights.
Know your rights!
These are your rights.
Know your rights!
Know these rights.
I am the master of myself and of my energy. You are the master of yourself and of your energy. I am the master of myself and of my energy. Every step I take needs to bring out the best in me. I am the master of myself and of my energy. You are the master of yourself and of your energy. I am the master of myself and of my energy. Every step I take needs to bring out the best in me. Cause I know y'all continue blasting me, especially when the devils wanna test my feet. So in the way that they're bringing out the best in me. You know why? I never keep on next to me. And if I do it, you might as well accept defeat. So I'ma be a bigger man when I'm blessed to be. So you can't press repeat once I get it all recorded.
What should our artists do? We ask you to make a choice by texting to the number 831-272-2715. Your options are 1. Cooperate fully, and 2. Voice your rights. Ahora le pedimos al público que mande un mensaje al número 831-272-2715 para votar. Sus opciones son 1. Cooperar con los oficiales y 2. Decir sus derechos. Decir sus derechos. And the results are in, and they're voice your rights.
Hands in the air!
Can you please tell me how to be contained?
You are being detained for vandalism and resisting arrest.
I'm not resisting, I'm just trying to understand.
Do you have identification?
I do not consent to a search. Do you have a warrant?
I don't need a warrant.
Hey, you can't do this. I know my rights. Hey, what are you doing? That isn't necessary.
They're all the same, nothing but criminals.
Do you need medical care? That didn't quite work out. Let's try it again.
Hands in the air! You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you. Do you understand the laws I just read to you?
Yes, sir.
What gang are you in?
I'm not in a gang. I just like to paint positive words to brighten people's day.
Yeah, right. Tell it to the judge.
However, in our story, it ends differently.
Hands in the air!
Throw your hands up if you just want a better life. Now keep up there, all my people's working 8 to 5. So put your hands up if you want some better days. Keep them up, cause you got what it takes.
Hey, what happened to Jose?
Dude, Pendejo got arrested during second period.
That's his 3rd time this year.
Dude, I already got put in probation. First Tyrone, now Jose, they're setting us up. Look.
The school to prison pipeline. It's a term that describes how American kids get pushed out of public schools and into the juvenile and criminal justice systems. Basically, harsh zero-tolerance policies in schools have led to more suspensions, expulsions, and even in-school arrests. Getting suspended or expelled means more time away from school, and it doesn't take an honor student to figure out that's bad news. In fact, expelled and suspended students are more likely to get held back a grade, end up in juvie, or just drop out altogether. And dropping out of high school makes you 3 times more likely to get arrested. Back in school, forget about hallway monitors. Students these days often have to deal with school police. Minor offenses that might have landed you in the principal's office back in the day can now actually lead to your arrest. Students of color and those with disabilities are disproportionately affected. Black students get expelled 3 times more than their white classmates, while a student with a disability is 2 times more likely to get an out-of-school suspension than everyone else. And it's not because these kids are just bad apples. The Justice Department found that black students got harsher punishments than their white peers for doing the same things. So maybe it's time our education system got schooled?
Wally Guerrero, report to the main office. Wally Guerrero, report to the main office immediately.
Give me your backpack and take a seat, Wally.
Why?
Don't make this more difficult on yourself.
I didn't do anything.
Oh yeah? Well, these drawings tell a different story.
These are
Let me guess. A friend gave it to you, right? You must think I'm stupid. Come, let's go.
But I didn't.
Tell me the name of your gang.
We're artists, not criminals.
So it is your notebook.
It's not mine, it's a shirt book for artists. People pass it around. The friends let me take a look at it for a while.
Really now? So which one of your friends did this?
I don't know.
It's just a miracle you have a book full of the same crap painted all over town. Don't BS me.
I already told you.
Don't give me excuses. Your people are full of
What
this.
do you mean by people?
You know what I mean.
Sergeant, officers are needed at North Main and East Boulevard. 2 guys got into an argument, now we have a standoff. We need all available units, let's go.
But sir.
I said now!
Yes, sir. It's a lucky day. Watch yourself, kid.
Ay, mijo. How did you end up here? Don't you know not to get involved with the law?
It was all a misunderstanding, abuelo. It won't happen again, I swear.
Well, I hope not. I didn't come here to this country to pick strawberries and lettuce for you to be pandillero.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, mijo. You're a great son. You really are. But it's hard not to get worked up knowing how la policía can treat a young Chicano man like you. When I was your age... Wait, how old are you?
16.
Híjole, time flies by. Eres hombre. When I was your age, I came to America.
You were only 16?
Sí, mijo. I came here thanks to the Bracero program.
What was the Bracero program?
Pues, where to begin? America had been in World War II for about a year or so. At that moment, the United States began to have a shortage of labor force in the fields. I remember like it was yesterday.
The Bracero program is a big black hole for this country. I hope he never comes back. I don't believe his gas will employed. It's slave labor to me.
This is the granddaughter, 1,500 Mexicans brought to the state by the Farm Security Administration. Most are laborers. All of them are bachelors.
The Bracero program was a guest worker agreement between the United States and Mexican governments, renewed in several forms from 1942 to 1964. In those 22 years, approximately 2 million Braceros signed 4.5 million contracts.
You know who else worked in the fields before?
Los Okies in the Great Depression?
Orale, muchacho, that's right. Well, a lot of the Okies had gone off to fight in the war, so to keep the crops from rotting, Los Americanos asked us Mexicanos to work in the fields.
So the Americans asked for our help? Wow, not much has changed.
Telling me? Well, estaba chiquito during the war, but 10 years later, the Bracero program was still going on, so I told me, Mama, your great-grandma, it was time for me to go and become my own man.
How did she feel about that?
She was heartbroken, but she knew I had to do it, and she was proud of that.
So, what happened to the Bracero program?
Well, despite the hype created about these jobs, the working conditions were absolutely horrible. From spraying us with pesticides meant to clean us, to paying us next to nothing after working in the scorching heat, and picking till our backs gave out. And the living conditions, híjole mijo, don't even get me started. Let's just say they were bad, and that's why we went on strike.
Wow, abuelo. You've really been through a lot. I can't believe I've never heard about this before. I wish I had a story like that to tell.
You do, muchacho. You're a Mexican-American living in America. Your whole life has been a story, and it's only the beginning. We just came from the police station, and my tail light is still out. Well, mijo, have you learned about Mexican California?
California was in Mexico?
Yes, mijo. What did they teach you at that school?
Good evening, senor. Do you know what pulled you over?
Good evening, officer. I believe it was my tail light.
That's right, sir. It seems that your right tail light is out, and by the sounds of it, you knew all along. Is there something you have to say about that?
Yes, officer. It just went out this week. I haven't had a chance to change it.
Right. We got 2 suspects, right tail lights out. Okay, sir. I'm only following orders, but I do have to ask for license and registration papers. Can you provide it to me?
I can. Here you go.
Thank you. And again, I'm only following protocol. Hopefully I can get the both of you out of here as quickly as possible.
Thank you, officer. So, like I was telling you, California was once a part of Mexico.
At one time, the land in New Mexico, along with California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Texas, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming, belonged to Mexico. In 1846, the United States declared war on Mexico. 2 years later, the war was over, and Mexico had lost half its territory. Overnight, 100,000 Mexicans became foreigners on soil that had belonged to their families for generations. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo promised these new Americans free enjoyment of their liberty and property of every kind. But the original land grants had been given under Spanish and Mexican law, which U.S. courts often did not recognize. Over the years, Mexican Americans lost their land to speculators, lawyers, and caterpillars. Some property was taken by force.
Excuse me, but I'm gonna have to ask you to step out of the vehicle. It seems that your residency papers have expired and the ICE unit will need to see you for further inspections.
What? Why? He's been living in this country for over 30 years.
Wally, no lo provoques. I didn't realize, officer, but I understand. Wally, walk home until your father can pick up the truck. And let Abuela know we'll speak to her soon.
Pero bueno.
Do what your grandfather says, kid, or I'll be forced to take you to the station as well.
How can you just accept this? It's not right, it's not fair!
Wally, mijo, it's okay to be angry. We all are. But we must stay strong and calm for your abuelo. Tenemos que permanecer con la mente clara. We shouldn't allow our fear and anger to overpower us. You know, this was a hard lesson both your abuelo and I had to learn during the Bracero grape strikes.
You and Abuelo were in the grape strikes together? I didn't know about that.
We'll see. That's just how we met, actually. In the fields. The Bracero program had just ended, and your abuelo continued work as a campesino.
Estamos dedicando este día el fruto de la unidad del campesino, pero lo que estamos pensando aquí es una organización, una unidad para hacer los cambios sociales y económicos que necesitamos para ser hombres y mujeres libres. Y vamos a ver la victoria pronto, compañeros.
No nos moverán. No nos moverán como un árbol firme junto al río. No nos moverán. No nos moverán. No nos moverán como un árbol firme junto al río. No nos moverán. Unidos en la huelga, no nos moverán. Unidos en la huelga, no nos moverán. No nos moverán. No nos moverán.
Locos, Mesa, get him!
No, por favor, no estamos haciendo nada.
Gonna send you back to where you came from, wetbag.
You're the ones who brought me here.
Stop! Leave us alone! We haven't done anything wrong!
You're allowed to say no to us. Take him away.
After that, your abuelo joined the huelga, and together, with so many other compañeros, we fought for fair wages and better working conditions of campesinos. But we always had to stay calm. Even in the face of fear or anger or disappointment, to give in is to give them what they want.
How do you stay calm, Abuela? When they can just send him back to Mexico like nothing? After 35 years of working the land, harvesting the crops under the worst conditions with barely any wage? Why should I even try if they're just going to criminalize us anyway?
Wally, no te rindas. Your abuelo worked hard for you and this family to have the life we never did. If you succeed, we succeed. I know this is hard, mijo, but we will overcome. I have faith your abuelo will return home soon.
What if he doesn't? What if they don't let him?
We don't know that. We must stay strong and honor the struggles and sacrifices that have brought to us where we are now. Acuérdate de dónde vienes. Let your ancestors fill you with courage, ¿me entiendes? Ay, mijo. Do you know what your name means?
Something in Aztec?
It's Mexica. Wally means good in Nahuatl, or ancestors' native language. You are named after all that is good in this world. Tienes la responsabilidad de ser la luz y ayudar a iluminar el camino que nos libre.
Pero ¿cómo, Abuela? It's a lot of responsibility and they're watching and waiting for me to fail.
Sí, mijito. Por eso, tienes que comprobar lo contrario. You have to prove them wrong. If they expect a criminal, show them an educated man. Si esperan violencia por tu parte, enséñales una persona noble. If expect you to be lazy and indifferent. Show them that you are engaged and compassionate. Show them by using your voice, by voting every chance you get, through protests, boycotts, and community organizing. You know, this is how you make change, Juan.
Entiendo lo que me dices, abuela. It's just, after today, it feels like we've been going in circles. You and abuelo fought for us of all of these opportunities, and we're still struggling. It feels hopeless, abuela.
Sí, es cierto. La vida es cíclica. History continues to repeat itself, losing and gaining with every revolution. Y por eso, sigamos luchando, so that with each generation it gets easier. Ahora es tu turno. Many of the rights and privileges we have now are a direct result of past generations that were brave enough to unite and overcome. Now is your opportunity. ¿Y tú, mijo? ¿Qué vas a hacer? ¡Hey, Cody! ¡Está abierto! ¡Pásenle, pásenle! ¡Está abierto!
Oh, what's up, abuela?
What are you guys doing here?
Yo, we heard about abuelo, man. Sorry.
We got you, fam.
Yeah, we can help. Yo, there's a DACA protest going on right now.
Well, yeah, let's go. Come on, we can help them out.
Let's go.
Yeah.
¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido! ¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido! ¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido!
So I want to give you guys an opportunity real quick to meet our cast a little bit and give them a little bit of your feedback and your reflections. Can we get somebody to hit the lights for us, please? Thank you. All right, let's start from right here. You can tell me your name and what you played.
My name is Brian. I played the musician and the abuelo.
My name is Ingrid and I played the poet and some cons here and there. Mi nombre es Ingrid y dice el poet y unas policías. Hi everybody, my name is Crystal. I played the abuela and social worker and I think actor. Hola a todos, gracias por venir. Mi nombre es Cristal Herrera, yo hice la parte de la abuela y de la trabajadora social.
Buenas noches, yo me llamo Alexis Velázquez y yo era Kuali y un IRS man, los que te quitan los taxis y luego también unas policías. I played Kuali, the IRS man, and a cop.
My name is Elizabeth. I played the graffiti artist and some other stuff, and I don't know how to say it in Spanish.
My name is Maria and I played stage manager in the cop. Mi nombre es María, yo fui la policía y el
Stage manager.
How do you say stage manager?
El manejador de escenario.
es lo que digo.
All right, so these students have been working on this production for about 3 months now. It's been going strong. We're really, really proud of them, but now we'd like to get your feedback. Is there anybody in the audience that want to give them a little bit of your feedback and how you feel?
Yo lo voy a decir en español. Estos estudiantes de nosotros, de nuestra organización, han estado trabajando y esforzándose por 3 meses ensayando con mucha delicadeza aquí para presentarles eso. Y ahora que ya les presentamos a ustedes, ahora quisiéramos saber qué piensan ustedes o cómo les pareció la presentación. Anybody, it's okay.
Yes.
This time, the grandmother touched my heart. It just brought me to tears. And I felt the love and that passion. And it just revealed the struggle that we both had, and I really felt it. I'm still feeling it now. You touched my heart.
Thank you. Anyone else? Maybe, how did it make you feel? What were you feeling? Whether it's good or bad, it's okay if you're someone who's like, that really made me upset. That really did not make me comfortable. That's okay. We want to hear all of that. Did anybody, somebody? Was somebody there? Did anybody learn something that they didn't know before? Let me just get a hand. Did you guys hear anything or see anything that you didn't know before? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, all right.
Como si, ¿cuáles personas de ustedes, si tienen comentarios, bueno o malo, o cosas que hayan sentido, está bien, pero también queremos saber si alguien quizás aprendió algo nuevo que no sabían antes en esta presentación, quizás historia o información que quizás nunca habían escuchado o sabido de él.
I'm not gonna fight, I promise. I already did. No, I didn't. Yes?
I didn't really know what to expect. Didn't really say much on the flyer. No se miraba que iban a hacer en el proyecto. But I believe that, wow, you did an amazing job up there. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm involved in the social justice movement. I work with, I don't know if maybe you have, maybe you haven't, worked with MIPA, and I hope that we could help uplift some of your work. It was really amazing, and it really helped, it really touched. Yo trabajo en el movimiento, ¿cómo? I don't know how to say in Spanish. También en tópicos sociales, justicias sociales. Trabajo con una organización que se llama MIPA y me tocó todo lo que hicieron allá arriba, mucho talento, y ojalá podamos trabajar. Yeah.
I just want to say that the whole play is absolutely wonderful, and it's very touchy, really touched my heart, because we, our family, come from Brazil, parents who work on the fields so hard, and my dad and all my uncles, including mi abuelo, they suffered many years there in the United States during the Brazil program. And this has been like a generation after generation that we never forgot where we came from. We never forgot all the hard stages that we've been through. And up to now, we still remember the hard work. And it's about time that I get to see something like this. They're really inspiring. And at the same time, even though it hurts me inside because of the feeling of the past, I think it's something that is very educational, not only for me, but always for other people who does not know anything about the Brazil world. And thanks to my dad and my mom, brothers and sisters, I got the opportunity to go to school, get an education while they work in the fields so hard. And I encourage each and every one of these students and everyone here in the theater here to stay in school as well, get an education.
Part of our goal with this production was also, most of it is to inspire and to educate, but also to empower our youth to take this history and to take this knowledge and to help make a positive impact within the community and share it, whether it's with their families or it's with their friends or whoever it is that this information, this knowledge is getting passed out. We did this production, we did previews at Alisal High School, and I was really surprised, but also I guess it helped justify and help validate the work that we're doing, because there was a lot of students who didn't know this history, didn't know this information, just the Mexico history, the fact that a portion of the United States was Mexico, like that, just that fact that that information has been lost, or the Bracero program and the information about that, like all of these little things that I think a lot of us in our generation and older, we take for granted. Like we assume that everybody should just know this information. But I think it's imperative that we make sure that that information and that history and the power of that history, knowing that we are a resilient community and culture, is important, so that our youth can continue to move forward and know that they have those roots that can ground them and that can allow them to do and reach further, right? So we hope that this production does that for you guys.
Parte de la razón que escribimos y compusimos esta presentación es para educar y inspirar a la misma vez. Como ellos tomaron esta historia y la hicieron una historia viva en la presentación y en la obra de teatro, y igual como ellos quizás se han inspirado, quizás ellos puedan inspirar no nomás a ustedes, pero a sus amigos y amistades, a saber cosas que quizás uno no sabe o nunca nos han contado, o quizás nunca habíamos escuchado de eso, o si sabemos a veces se nos olvida, como las cosas del programa Bracero, como lo de que California era México, cositas y partes de nuestra historia que son parte de nuestras raíces, que nos ayudan a entender dónde estamos y qué podemos hacer con nuestra comunidad. Y espero inspire y siga dando educación y sigamos con la voz para tratar de crear cambio aquí en nuestra comunidad.
Anything from the cast? Is there anything you want to leave with your audience? You want to let them know?
Can maybe like each one let us know like what you want to be if you already know, or like where you want your goals are maybe?
Sure. You want to start from here?
Yeah. I want to be just something in general, like around engineering. I've always loved just working with machines or like technology in general. Lo que quisiera hacer yo sería ingeniería, nomás si no sé todavía de qué tipo, pero siempre me ha gustado trabajar con robótica y así, ingeniería nomás en general.
Something that I aspire to work in is like arts, not just performing arts, but like drawing or writing, because I always like creating new things. Y algo que yo quiero trabajar en es arte, no más actuando, pero escribiendo, dibujando, porque me gusta crear nuevas cosas.
Well, I'm actually a senior right now, and I've been getting this kind of question for like months. But I do not know exactly what I want to be in or what I want to do, but I do know that I want to work with more like social justice groups, and hopefully one day like lead my own or create my own. And then something that I really would like to do is I would like to go and get my education and eventually come back to the community and really help everyone out. So that's what I would like to do.
Yo ahorita estoy en el 12 grado y me están preguntando estas preguntas, las que dijo él, por muchos meses. Entonces me traen un poquito loca, pero no sé lo que quiero hacer exactamente, pero me gustaría trabajar con la comunidad más. Quiero ir a ganar mi educación y regresar aquí a la comunidad para ayudar a todos los que no fueron afortunadamente para ir al colegio a ganar su educación y que todavía están aquí. Pues me gustaría ayudarlos.
So, ever since I was little, I just loved computers. Computers just always fascinated me. So, I think I want to do something with computers when I grow up. But I want to go to college, get educated and all that, and then eventually start making some good money. But I want to come back to Salinas. And I want to try to help change the community somehow using my newfound knowledge. Like, there's a program called Digital Nest. Those guys help give technology to the youth. And that program, it really helped me out. And I want to help programs that are like that, programs that like help nurture youth. So that's what I want to do. I just want to come back into my community and help. So desde cuando era un chico niño, siempre me gustaría computadoras. So, yo creo que eso es lo que quiero hacer en el futuro, trabajar con computadoras, ir al colegio, ganar una educación, hacer mucho dinero, you know. Y luego quiero regresar a Salinas cuando ya termino todo eso. Y en Salinas yo quiero ayudar a los tipos de programas que ayudan a los niños chiquillos. Como hay un programa que se llama Nest, que le da tecnología a los niños y trabaja con ellos y los enseña cosas como eso. Y yo quiero ayudar a programas como eso para hacer la comunidad más mejor. Comunidad.
Can I stand up? Oh, no, y'all were sitting down. I want to do something in art, which is kind of why I picked this role of like the graffiti artist. I was like, oh dang, I get to draw stuff. But let's see. I don't know how to say in Spanish. Sorry, what I say for her.
Dice ella que quiere quizás hacer algo en el arte, que por eso estuvo en esta obra, le gusta el arte y por eso está aquí. Dice que quizás cuando vaya a la escuela quiere recibirse en algo de arte.
Okay, question for her. Do you already have like some experience in art, or you're just getting started?
I mean, I've drawn for a while, like my entire life, I want to say. Like, oh, what do you? Do I have more? You want more?
No, that's good.
That's good.
I want to be a surgeon.
Cirujana, quiere ser cirujana.
All right, let's give our... in the space, Daniel Ibarra, Jacob Juarez, they can stand
Emily. Instructoras que ha estado aquí con el grupo de estos jovencitos desde la empezada. She's been with them since the start. She's kind of focused most of the time, and if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't actually be doing this at all. So I'd like to give her a big round of applause.
You are the teachers and the parents. So thank you so much for all of your support and for letting us have your students here with us performing. We are really grateful. We are going to continue to do this show throughout the rest of the weekend, and there is potential. We've gotten some calls for a potential tour of sorts, so we'll see what happens with your support and with these fabulous actors. Hopefully, we will be able to continue the movimiento. This weekend, it is Sunday at 2. Saturday, there are 2. Saturday's 1 show, Sunday is 2 shows. Saturday's at 2, Sunday is 2 and 7 o'clock. Okay? So tell all your friends, tell all your family.
Inviten a sus amigos, vamos a seguir, va a ser mañana a las 2 y el domingo a las 2 y a las 7. Inviten a cualquier persona que piensen que les guste y si no les gusta, pues también invítenlos.
¡Sí se puede!
Leave them with Andres in the back table, please. Thank you. Thank you again.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
So they're just going to go off and say their names and who they played.
My name is Brian. I play the abuelo and the musician. Mi nombre es Brian. Yo hice el abuelo y el músico.
My name is Ingrid, and I played the poet
también unos policías.
Hi everybody, my name is Crystal. I played the abuela and social worker and the actor. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Cristal Herrera. Yo hice la parte de abuela, de la actor y de la trabajadora social.
My name is Alexis Velasquez. I played Wally, a cop, and an IRS man. Yo me llamo Alexis Velasquez. Yo era Wally, un hombre de la policía y uno de los dudes que te colectan los taxes.
My name's Elizabeth. I played the graffiti artist and some other stuff. Yeah.
Alexis, can you say that? Can you answer that?
Yeah. So, in Spanish, ella era la artista y también era, ella tenía otras partes.
My name is Maria and I was the cop and stage manager. Mi nombre es Maria, yo fui la policía y director de
Like I said, they've been working on this production for about 3 months now. I don't know, how do you think? What do you think? They did a good job? And now I'd like to open up the floor. If you have any comments, any feelings, any thoughts, we'd love to hear from you. So, open it up. What do you guys think? Any thoughts, comments, concerns?
Ahora les abrimos le damos la palabra a ustedes para que compartan cualquier sentimiento, cualquier idea o algo que quieran expresar.
I like how it's at the end of the production and at the end of the show, it inspires youth and other people to get involved with, community action.
All right, awesome. Anybody else? Even if it's not like a positive, even if it's just like, hey, how come you didn't mention this? Or hey, like, why did you say it this way instead of not this way? Or whatever it is. Or did you learn anything new? Can I get a show of hands of anybody who learned anything new?
Si alguien aprendió algo nuevo, levante la mano.
Yes, all right, cool. So everybody over here already knew about everything. That's awesome. Actors, do you have anything you want to share with your audience members before they leave you?
Well, I just want to say thank you for coming. Surveys. If you were too shy to tell us in front of an audience, I understand and respect that. There is a survey just for that case. So please fill out those surveys if you can and leave them with Andres in the back. There are pens there. If you need a pen to help fill them out. Your input and your feedback helps us grow and make sure that we're doing right by you and the community. So please fill out those surveys, and if you have any questions, we'll be here. Thank you again. Thank you.
Hay unas preguntas que les pedimos que llenen. Si no compartieron algo con nosotros en voz alta, a lo mejor ahí también es buena oportunidad para compartir y lo entreguen atrás con Andrés en la mesa. Y gracias por estar aquí.
Thank you. There's 2 more shows tomorrow, 2 and 7 o'clock.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Thank you. All right.
My name is Brian, and I play the musician and the abuelo. And, mi nombre es Brian y yo hice el músico y el abuelo.
My name is Ingrid and I played the poet and some cops. Mi nombre es Ingrid y hice la escritora y unos policías.
Hola, buenas tardes, gracias por venir a todos. Mi nombre es Cristal Herrera. Yo hice la parte de la abuela y de la trabajadora social. Hi everybody, thank you for coming. My name is Cristal Herrera. I played the part of abuela and the social worker.
Yo me llamo Alexis Velázquez. Yo era Quali, unas de las policías y unos de los de IRS guys. No, pues los hombres que te ayudan a yeah. My name is Alexis Velázquez. I played Quali, a police officer, and an IRS man.
My name is Elizabeth, and I played the graffiti artist and other parts.
Su nombre es Elizabeth y jugó en la pintura y otras.
My name is Maria and I was the cop and stage manager. Mi nombre es Maria, soy el oficial y
Director del escenario.
Director del escenario.
Let's give another round of applause. Is an opportunity for us to get a little bit of your feedback. We're always looking to grow and to make sure that we're doing right by our community and by your voices. So whether it is, I really like the way you did that, or hey, how come we didn't talk about this, or how come you didn't include this information, or whatever it is, we want your feedback and your thoughts. So even if it's just, hey, I really like that actor, you're really great, or I like their costume, that's fine too. We just want to get your feedback and hear back from you. So I'd like to open it up to the audience. Any thoughts, comments, concerns? Oh, yeah, ¿dónde? Here you go.
Translate this in Spanish.
Si tienen algún comentario que quieren compartir con el elenco, ahora les damos la oportunidad de que puedan participar.
I have a question and I want to praise you for your really hard work. Everyone was had such a presence. It was great. The only criticism I had was that you were talking too fast. You know, I know it's probably just a nerve thing, but when you go so quickly, it doesn't give me a chance to absorb what just happened. You know, so from one scene to another, maybe just give us a second. And that would be you guys. I especially like that apron. I did a great job.
Thank you.
With the police, when you got out from the police department and you're rolling away, do you think that was kind of like just coincidence, or do you think it was kind of a setup, like they kind of, you know, they knew you were getting out, so they just followed you? How did that play out?
I don't know if it's just much coincidence, but maybe like love or opportunity, or not love, chance, or like just chance, or maybe just destiny that it had to happen.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any thoughts? Yes.
I guess I have a question for you guys. What reforms in law enforcement do you think would be good to have? And also keeping in mind, like, could we actually achieve that? Or if we couldn't, I mean, how hard would it be, I guess?
Yeah. Does anybody have any response? I'll let you guys think about it.
I got something. I feel like certain types of trainings would be good, because as we saw in the facts, the police aren't trained to deal with, for example, mentally ill people. I think some type of training with that would help with that type of issue. And well, yeah, that's what
I also feel that training is
some tests, like I know they're risking their lives and they signed up for it. So I think that they should learn to not overreact when they see somebody. Like they might be stressed because they might get killed during their job, but they signed up for it, so they should be prepared for that.
Also to help, I guess, because I think part of what the difficulty is with this is that we're looking for answers, but the answers are not always simple and easy and straightforward. And so part of it is getting involved in the community and having a relationship with the police that's going to be healthy, and that's not just designed to just police, but also to protect and to help and build community. So it's trying to find those ways that we can do that that's beneficial and easy for both parties on both sides, right? Yes?
So can you all talk about sorry, let me start with you all were amazing, so thank you. I'm curious, you all had so much really great historical information, really well done in a short amount of time. Can you all talk about your research process that you went through to kind of gather all this information? How did that help you as actors? And my second question is, has any of the city officials, police folks seen you all perform? What?
So as far as the research goes, they didn't necessarily do research, but they had to each get comfortable with the material. So they had to learn what the material meant in relation to the work that they do. So I think, how does the material, the question for them, because the research really was done by the creative leaders, but the research in relation to the material and to the work that you do, how did that affect you, or how did that affect the way that you performed, right? Or how did it inform your work, right, as a performer? I think is a good answer. And the second part was, I'm sorry.
Has any of the city officials, police?
The previous shows that we've done, the readings and the community previews that we did have, I believe, city council member came through from this district, and then we had the mayor come for the first reading. So we have had some community involvement. We reached out to the police department to get some of the council members on the police side, and I believe for the reading we have one, but there wasn't a whole lot of feedback on that end. So, but can you guys speak on the material and the history and how it impacted your work? Whoa.
So in the beginning, I say a poem, and before that, I had another one, and I had to choose between those two. And first, I only had one option, and I had to learn it, and I had to like connect it to myself, so that way I could say it better. And also with this poem, the one I said, I had experiences in my life. I had to connect it with that, so that I could put more emotion into it. And I had, like Emily told me, that I had to make it mine. That it wasn't theirs anymore. I had to make that one mine.
I didn't really know about the Bracero program, so I was like, well, what is this and how did it happen? I went and asked my history teacher, and he explained it a little bit, but I had to search it up more and really get to know, so I could try to be one of the Braceros from that time.
Yeah, kind of what they said. It's all about context and knowing about the things that actually happened, not just in history books, but that happened in your family and in those in your community and how they're affected by it. And you really have to understand what these people went through to really play the part, like the abuela. She was in the huelga, and now she was telling Wally about her experiences and not to give up. I think that's a really crucial part of being the actor and just knowing the history and how it shouldn't be silenced.
So, just like Brian, I had no idea what the Bracero program was until I actually entered this play. They told me about it, I learned a bit more. And apparently, I had family that was in the Bracero program. I believe it was my great-grandfather, my grandpa. One of them was in the Bracero program. And once I found that out, I started to connect a bit more to this. It was like, oh, crap, I come from a family that was in the Bracero program. It's like, kind of helped make me connect to the concept of this play more.
You actually reminded me, I also have some relatives apparently that are also part of the Bracero program from my dad's side. I had no idea. And as for research, I know Emily said we didn't really do any, but I remember coming to rehearsals and almost every day she'd ask us like, have you guys learned anything that relates to what we're talking about? And like every day we talk about something new, but it still led back to like this whole point of this play, like of Trump and the school to prison pipeline. And we also went to a protest like around the beginning of all this. It was like right over here, like
It was over here.
yeah, like the corner of the street on Market Street and about DACA and everything.
It's on YouTube.
Really?
Oh, yes.
It was also in the play. They showed a clip.
I don't know if y'all saw us in there.
Maria, did you want to answer yourself?
Yeah, something that really impacted this, like for me, was we did a preview at my school, and my English teacher saw it, and she was like really inspired. So like ever since then, like she talks a lot about it. She gives us like a lot of information, and we talk about the American dream, which also kind of relates to this, and like we talk about like them not having rights. And,
yeah, give her a applause. That the cast wanted to leave with the audience before we leave? Was it leaving remarks? We have a 7 o'clock show too.
Yes, bring all your friends and family to the 7 o'clock. I'll let you know what it looks like, right? Thank you guys. Oh, yes.
Hi, seriously. I had the opportunity of taking the community academy with the Salinas PD and learned a lot, actually. The scenarios that came up with, yeah, pretty good. I was actually involved where with a scenario where I had my, had a gun and, had to do a traffic stop, and it was nervous. Of course you have to be trained, but me not being as trained, I was pretty nervous. And yeah, it ended up where the suspect had a gun underneath his and he had to instantly know what to do. That was a wake-up call for me as far as what Salinas PD had to go through. But of course, the training is always good. And actually, we had another scenario where a box was put over my head. They gave me the scenario, and I had to stay in the circle, and I couldn't move. And what happened was, I had three individuals were fighting, and 2 of the individuals were fighting. The other one was saying, tell me stop. And I was over there accidentally getting out of the box, and I go, back in the box. And I said, stop. And I drew my firearm out, because it was getting really intense. And I did not pay attention to the other guy, and I put focus on the other 2 guys, and well, I got shot. Without even incident, I was a dead officer at that point. And then the next one was interesting, where same scenario, there were 2 fighting, and then the other one comes out, and he pulls, and just the way he pulled out like this, and I shot the suspect. It had to be a cell phone. So that was a wake-up call for me as far as the scenarios, and that was, and I killed the suspect, but it had a cell phone. Yeah. And then, but training, yeah, definitely, we went through a 2009-14 budget where everybody was serving, I know a lot of Salinas PD was not getting any money. The training, I definitely agree with they had a lot more implemented training would be good. What else? Community policing?
Yeah.
Policing.
But community building, right?
Yeah,
It's not just about being in the community,
building,
right?
yeah.
They have to know the community that they're serving, right?
But, getting the right budget, make it happen. What else? District farm workers, that was great. I learned some stuff today. And then overall, you guys did an awesome job, really awesome job. Yeah. INS. Good job, man.
Awesome, thank you. I think we're going to wrap it up unless there's any other comments or...
I know.
Yeah, to go along with that training, I'd kind of trip out about their attitude because an awful lot of what's really happening that I've noticed, because I've had a few police interactions, and people have told me, I mean, they do downright illegal stuff. It don't matter. They want what they want when they want it, and it's an attitude adjustment. You know, it's a behavior attitude. It's a there's an awful lot of power and privilege that happens outside of the city limits, but they work with the city corporate, and they're the ones who kind of call the shots. You know, so we got. I mean, this place has been neglected for years, eons, even after the annex. You got to realize this is 3 small towns, and Salinas, Maine. Like Salinas proper, everything on this side of the tracks. South side is Salinas, and then you got the Alisal and you got Santa Rita. There's 3 cities with a dried up lake in the middle. They got all the power, and it's the attitude that trips me out, and absolutely it's the involvement of people being exactly the polar opposite. Like you know, when you were talking to Quali earlier, you know, about you just got to be better than that, and you got to show them that you're a productive member of society, not the dirty talk that they expect to find of you. And that's a really high plateau to be at, but the integrity is what's really going to move us forward with all this community policing and policies and whatever, because they lie. They'll tell you whatever they want because they've already made back them deals, and then they got to sell it to you. So you're looking at a bunch of salesmen. Even a lot of the cops, when you listen to what they say, is a lot of, well, you know, what's on sports, and I mean, what really revolves around their life and their family, God, and country, but they forget about the community aspect. I mean, they're getting paid so much. I wish the teachers got paid as much as cops get paid, and cops got paid as much as teachers get paid. You know, because, I don't know, but it does, and everybody is so stuck in society of where they're at, just trying to survive and pay the rent, and all the rates going up, because those are guys with a piece of paper who own the property, and they can dictate what you want, you know, and if you can't afford it, so what? We got 12 others in line. So, you know, it's really tragic that our role models don't practice what they preach.
But I think also part of that, though, and I think the end takeaway from this show, but also from what we're trying to do, is that we need to be involved in our community. We need to be involved in the decisions that happen. We need to,
right.
If we don't like the procedures or the policies that are in place, then we need to be the people who speak up and take action. It's not going to change by itself, as Brian so eloquently put it not too long ago. It doesn't change by itself. We have to take part, and we have to be part of that change. So I hope that you leave with those feelings.
Yes.
Just wanted to echo on the code of conduct. Yeah, I mean, if like our teachers were cursing on the job, like we'd get fired. And I think that sometimes things are escalated when there's foul language coming from law enforcement. It's a heated situation. I just don't think that helps. And also, I just wanted to share a story of something that occurred a few weeks ago. It was the Day of the Dead event, and we had a huge event down at Acosta Plaza in the park down there. During the event, up at the top of the hill, right where the apartments end and where that road, begins, there was a young man that was pulled over. I don't know exactly why, but he was. The weapons were drawn, and this was happening while we had about 300, 400 people down there. Weapons were drawn. The young man was upset. The officers were worked up, that it ended there. It did not escalate beyond that. But you could see that there were family members that were starting to approach the scene. There were young men. There were kids, 8, 9, 10, kids that attend, the programs here in this facility. They all, most of them know each other, and there's a few folks that were on our staff that one in particular that really just try to kind of de-escalate the situation between family members trying to approach. We were trying to get the kids, to just kind of ease up and step back, and some were saying, "Hey, come on," and then some of them were worked up, and they were almost even kind of agitating. which is, that's a whole other, situation. Why somebody's so upset that they feel like they should do something that may create an unsafe situation even more unsafe. And so, I don't know, I'm just, I guess personally the biggest takeaway for me was, from the play was, I'm reminded about, I think law enforcement in the UK doesn't have guns. I saw a movie a few years ago where, the whole thing was about, cops without guns get killed, and I don't know, it was interesting. It was an interesting movie, but yeah, about as far as like, community academy, I don't know, maybe law enforcement that doesn't have guns, and maybe they show up, and what do we do about the threat of violence to them, though? How do you do that? One bulletproof vest, more than that, so I'm going to open up here. This has been in my mind a lot these past few years for me. I moved here to Salinas about 5 years ago. About a year ago, we were loading up late at night, getting ready for an event, and we heard the gunfire of the young man that was killed by police officers on Garner. We were going to have a competition next door, and in the afternoon, 3 to 6, and there was somebody that was killed in a Costa Plaza, and so the whole school was on lockdown. So I don't know. That's what I have to share.
It's real stuff, right, happening. It's not, they're not just stories, or they're not just like, oh, well, like we're talking about on the show, it happens over there, it doesn't happen here. Like, it's still happening. I think it's really easy, something that I talk about with the students is that it's real, these stories start to become like almost like trends, and so they start to kind of become unpopular, right? And so it's like, oh, well, that passed, that story happened already, so now we're over it, and we're on to the next thing. But a lot of these things haven't been given justice yet. They haven't been given the right due respect and time. So again, it comes down, I think, to becoming involved and just being aware of what's happening in your community and taking a role. So yes.
The scene, and though you're right in the beginning where I get shot, it's actually something that happened here. Was it like a year ago?
Yeah, I think it was earlier this year.
Earlier this year, a guy named Joel, she showed us a video. I noticed how he was at a place and he was alone. And he had a knife, I guess, in his house. It wasn't his house, it was his friend's house. And the police came and you could hear him say, the house is evacuated. There was nobody there. It was alone and it was just him. They taser Joel, he goes on the ground. The cop goes, like it's around a corner, so he goes around the corner and he bumps into him. And he freaks out, so he shoots him. And then, even after he's already on the ground, he's already dead, they still scream out, drop your weapon, but he's dead. And it says that their defense against this was that they were afraid that he was gonna he was gonna hurt other people that were inside the house, even though they clearly said that the house was empty.
So it's still happening, right? But again, like I said, it comes down to us being involved and being active members in our community. I think it's a big discussion. It's really heavy. It's easy to continue this discussion. And if you are interested in discussing this with our cast or with myself or one of the members, you're welcome to. But I'm going to release us now. It's been a nice talk, and I love you guys. Yeah, one more show. 7 o'clock. Send your people.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
All right, let's give another round of applause for our So, like we said, we wanted to open it up and give an opportunity for the audience to give a little bit of feedback and maybe to any comments. If you're like, I really like this one part, or hey, how come you didn't add a little bit more of this, or why did you choose to do that? Or hey, actors, what did it take for you to do this? Or what do you feel, what was your favorite part of the show? Anything you want, now is the opportunity to give us your comments and thoughts. So let's have them, guys. Don't be shy.
Como les habíamos mencionado, en este momento los vamos a pedir que participen con nosotros un poco. Y si tienen algún comentario o algo que quieran decirle a los actores, preguntas, o qué les gustó, qué no les gustó, esta sería la oportunidad para compartir, porque apreciamos mucho los comentarios o las opiniones que tienen acerca de esto. Sin pena.
And we need your feedback. We need it, because otherwise we can't grow and be better. Right? So we need any of your thoughts. Yes?
I thought you guys were so amazing. The acting is so incredibly good, and I hope you guys continue to grow and make it longer, and so people can see what's going on in here and everywhere else.
Thank you. I switched over something super imperative. I apologize. Let me introduce you to the actors. So they're going to go and say their names and what they played. We'll give them a nice round of applause for each of them, because they deserve it. It's been a long weekend. All right.
My name is Brian. I played the musician and the abuelo. Mi nombre es Brian. Yo hice el abuelo y el músico.
Mi nombre es Ingrid y jugué el escritora y unos policías. My name is Ingrid and I play the roles of a poet and some police.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Cristal Herrera. Yo hice la parte de la abuela, de la trabajadora social y de la actora. Good evening, everyone. My name is Cristal Herrera. I played the part of the abuela, the social worker, and the actor.
Good evening. My name is Alexis Velasquez, and I played Kuali, the IRS man, and the police officer. Buenas tardes, yo me llamo Alexis Velasquez, yo era Kuali, el IRS man, esos son los dudes que te quitan los taxes, y un hombre de policía.
My name's Elizabeth, and I played the graffiti artist and some other stuff.
Su nombre es Elizabeth y ella fue la pintora y otras cosas. My name is Maria and I played the stage manager and the cop. Mi nombre es Maria, yo fui la oficial y el manager, director de escenas.
Now you can give us your feedback.
Well, I think the acting was incredible. You guys are all amazing. I look forward to seeing other shows in the future. And I think also the way you tied in the history to the reality of what's going on today in Salinas, and how you end with hope. There's hope. Together we can make a difference. So, it's a really good ending, positive. Dije que los actores, las actrices hicieron un trabajo fenomenal, son muy buenos actores y ojalá que en el futuro sigan involucrados en este tipo de arte, en el teatro. Y también como la historia, integraron la historia en lo que está pasando hoy en día en Salinas, y cómo terminó la obra con algo positivo de que juntos podemos hacer la diferencia.
Anyone else? Any thoughts? I promise they won't bite you. Me neither. Actors, is there anything you want to say to your audience?
I got a question. Now that you've done this the whole run, are you excited about doing part 2?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Huh? Oops.
Go ahead. Yay.
We had another show at 2 p.m. and during the break we had,
some of us stay here. And we discussed with Emily like what we could do, like how we could grow, because we like acting this and we don't want it to like fall apart. So she said that we may talk to other companies that work with the same issues, and we could get their stories and make even another play, like just and we could have other people join and like different roles, either different stories, or even have the story be extended and have it seen from the other point of view, like instead of quality, have it be the musician, the poet, or the graffiti artist.
So there's a lot of opportunity for this piece to grow. Right now it's specific to these characters, but there's opportunity for it to be different characters completely. As it kind of alludes to, it says volume 1 on the bottom of your programs. It's very intentional. It's that these are one set of issues that are community faces, but there are many other issues that are to be talked about and to be smoothed out within the community. And I think theater and art itself is a great vehicle to get those issues out there and start the discussion, not necessarily completely answer all of the problems of the world, because that is very, very difficult. But I think the minute that us as a community come together and start discussing them is when we find our power and when we find change. So that's what this project's about. Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah, like Emily was saying, this play, what we were doing, it was to try to have people talk about these issues that are happening, not only in Salinas, but in other similar communities, and to be involved in like community projects and just knowing what's going on around your community and knowing that you have the power to change your community for the better. So just really be out there, try to be involved, just know what's going on around you. Don't be blind, okay?
Something you want to give to the audience.
So, I had something, but I kind of lost it.
I was actually gonna say a thanks to Emily, because without her, I don't know if any of us would be here actually doing this, because she reached out to us at Alisal, and then I went to that audition, and she was there. And I want to give a big thanks, give a round of applause to Emily.
We wouldn't be here without you, so you guys. Yes, Brian.
I want to thank all of you guys who helped us create this play. And one thing that I just want you guys to know is that change is something necessary in every community, but the change is not just going to happen by itself. You have to be part of the change and help make the change.
Woo! Go ahead. Sorry. Like everyone else, I would like to really thank those who are with us since the beginning, and not so the beginning, but who were always with us, who were encouraging, who are encouraging us, and they're the reason why this show is able to happen. The cast: Emily, Dante, Saul,
Jacob,
Daniel,
Andres,
many other more who are not here today, but without them, this wouldn't have been made possible. And I'm really thankful, guys. Thank you.
Okay. I want to thank first of all Emily, because you're really cool and you always bought us food.
That's the only reason they like me, for the comida.
I want to thank Cobo, but he always ate tacos in front of us. I know. That was really cool. And Andres with the notes. You always gave us notes. Notes. Pretty cool. And you ate in front of us. That's not there. Don't be the other. Thank you, Dante. You're really cool too.
It's Saul.
Yeah,
It's Saul.
And
Elizabeth, you couldn't be here last
oh
time.
yeah, Elizabeth.
Daniel.
And Carlos. Okay, that's it.
Okay, guys.
Shouts out.
No, you guys are awesome. You're fabulous. One last chance, anything from the audience? Anybody before we go? Good job, guys. All right, well, thank you so much again. In your programs, there are surveys. Please, if you didn't want to speak up out loud in front of us, but you have some info, we want to have your feedback. So please fill out those surveys and leave them with Andres in the back. And we hope to see you in future productions. Thank you guys so much. Everybody go like this. Another one. One, two, of course we can.
Come on, you got that paparazzi now. Woo, striker pose. Woo, lam it up.